let me say to everyone here at home, if you are saving less than 10 grand a month, and you're just saving, your chance of being rich is fucking zero. You need to go and do something else and make more. Invest in yourself, get knowledge, pay attention to mentors, start another business, open something. You need to do something because you're not going to save your way to the top. The average person at home, you're not earning enough to ever save. If you were to save 100% of your wage, you're still going to be broke. You have to get to a level of earning. And it's that spirit you need to have when it comes to money. And it truly is the abundance mindset is true. If you're a normal person with a normal wage and a normal income and you're focusing on investments, you're making a big mistake because there's no way you can invest 500 pounds. It's going to grow. Maybe you could pull off a lottery win shitcoin pump or something. But in general, with anything normal outside of this clown world garbage, which has vanished because the real world's back, because the last 2 years have been clown world. Now the real world's back and it's hard to make money again. There's nothing you can put 500 pounds in without doing any work and it's just going to blow up and make you a millionaire, right? So if you don't have significant money to invest, you shouldn't be focusing on investments. You should be focusing on how to make more money. Let's say you're a normal person, you're working a normal job, you're making $4 grand a month and you pay all your bills and you're left with $1 grand a month. And then in your spare time, you're worried about how to spend that or how to invest that grand a month. Right. I think that's a waste of time. You should be far more worried about spending your time trying to make more money. Yeah, because $100%. $1 grand a month, it's not enough money.
So you could invest that grand in yourself.
Absolutely. Invest in knowledge or something like that. But investing in a coin, like I said, unless it's a lottery win. And before I go on to answer the question, I do want to make something clear. I think the last 2 years have been a fantastic period of wealth creation. The money printers were on full and it was full clown world and it was bullshit. And a lot of people made money during the clown world and spent it all. And they now think they're going to continue to make money in clown world.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No, the real world is back. The brokies and the wagies, you're all going back to McDonald's. If you bought Who Dick coin and made 200 grand and you think you're going to be able to continue to do that for the rest of your life, you're a dumbass. That was a once in a lifetime generational gap where you could pull something off. And now it's back to the hard times. Even all the big tech companies and the tech companies make money from the sky for free with pixels. They're cutting staff. If they're cutting staff, then it's really hard. It's going to get very difficult to make money now. So a lot of the dumb shit is over. In terms of how to make money in the world today, it's hard. I think that the world is changing into an economy which is to a degree based on attention. I think you need to find a way to get attention to you and who you are, your product or your service, and find a way to monetize it. So the easiest way to do that is to have some knowledge. Even the podcast you guys run is an extremely efficient podcast. If you compare it to some of the other YouTube channels, like the big ones, like where they do these crazy stunts and stuff. Yeah. For you to get views, you talk. Yeah. Yep. For them to get views, they have to build a set and build it. It's not efficient, right? You need to find an efficient way to get attention, and then you have to prove yourself credible in your field and attract customers. And I think the best way to do that is online. And it doesn't matter what it is. And I think if you do those things and you work very hard and you try your best and you're never lazy, you will make some money. So if you establish credibility and you gain attention, you'll make money. So I'll give you another example. I had a friend who was a personal trainer. He used to go to the gym every day and he used to train people. He didn't make that much money. People would miss appointments. It's like £50 an hour. He'd get there, get back. I said, listen, brother, you used to, he didn't have time, look fantastic. How about you spend the next 6 months getting absolutely killer shape? Then put up a bunch of pictures on Instagram of you in killer shape, and then put together your workout plans and tell people they'll look like you even though they never will. And sell that for $7 or 10 pounds or 15 pounds and sell it by your Instagram. And he went from making $2.5 grand a month or $2 grand a month as a personal trainer to 15 grand a month without ever going in the gym. He only went to the gym for himself because he was selling information. So, and that's what a lot of people are doing now, but now it's getting more and more competitive. So you have to establish credibility and get attention in a way which is becoming more difficult. Like in the fitness industry, it can be done purely on how you look. You can get some credibility and attention. But especially in the business world now, you have to be very knowledgeable. You have to be because that's the way things go when they get competitive, which is fine. But this all goes back and ties into what we were saying earlier on. If you're not trying your best and working hard and paying attention, then you're going to get wrecked. Another thing I will say to people at home, and I've said this before, every single time I ever spend money, I pay attention to why I spend money. And that gives you a lot of information and a lot of knowledge when it comes to sales and marketing. If I go and I buy some clothes, I am conscious about why did I choose this store instead of that store or that. Is it the branding? Do I know them? Am I familiar with them? Is it because there was no line? Is it because they had a brighter sign? What was it? Oh, there's a line there. There's no line here. So in my physical businesses, which I have in Romania, I have this thing with the staff. There can never be a line. Faster. Like, dude, I don't want, but it's just 3 people. No, there are people walking past who won't walk in because there's a line, because that's what I do. No line, but you don't want to look empty. No. So no line until the last customer. Now you talk shit. So there's one person. Like, you have to manage these things. Most people don't micromanage this stuff. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. No. You have to pay attention to seeing people who are doing things, if they work and how they work. And you're completely and utterly correct. And you should do that all the time. Every time you spend money, you should work out how they convinced you to spend money. It's simple things. Like, I have a few physical companies, I have a few physical businesses, and it can be a simple matter of, depending on, in the business districts where there's men in suits, I have a pretty girl who's a waitress and she works there. The difference that will make to a bottom line is the dude going and flirting with his chick every lunchtime. You'd be amazed. But people don't think about these things. But even if you don't have a business, if you pay enough attention to these kind of things, you'll get business ideas. It'll inspire you. You'll go, you know what? If you start to really do it, you'll be around, and after a few months, you go, you know what? I can do this better than they're doing. Because I'll take in that aspect, and they're making mistakes. I can do this better. And that's how you do it. If you sit there and go, I want to work smart, not hard, so I work an hour a day. Well, then you're still lazy. You should work smart and hard and do 15 smart hours a day. That's how you win. So, and there's always endless work to do. The other thing I will say to people is you can always find work. I've had a lot of people say, well, there's no work to do. Yes, there is. You can find work to do. This podcast, by the time it's completed, you could make individual TikToks and put them on TikTok.
And we will.
But with a slightly different edit for the next 10 years if you wanted to. And even if each TikTok gets one view, one at a time, people hear about the podcast. There's no such thing as no work to do. Yeah. So you have to wake up and find the work to do and do it and just say, you know what, this is all I'm going to do. And a lot of it as well, if I'm giving advice to people, comes from constructing a life around you. Because people say, well, I don't want to work all the time. I have no social life. My social life's work. My best friends and me run our company. So we have the most fun in the office working. That's our fun, right? And my woman's there and she's making us coffee. My relationships work. It's all work. Like it's all done. So I don't have to separate things and compete against each other. Like that makes you ultra competitive. But yeah, I think all of my income's disposable and I have no respect for money. Money for me is a tool and I use it to get whatever I want and bend the world. I have no respect for money. There are people who are much smarter with money than me. I don't have any respect for money at all. I don't believe in saving money. And I think a lot of that is down to I'm not advocating people to be like this. It's my life philosophy and the fact that I don't live in any realm of fear at all. I can't imagine myself not being able to make more. I can't ever be poor. And if I wanted something now that took every penny of my net worth, then I would buy it because I want it. I don't care. I don't think, oh, I have safety net. I don't give a shit about money. You shouldn't fear money. I think there's a lot of people who are very scared with money and they hold on to it and they're very fearful with it. And they say scared money doesn't make money and scared people don't conquer the world. I can never be poor. My skill set, the people I know, my phone book, my reliability, my reputation. You could take all of my money today. I'll be a millionaire again in 2 weeks. Like I can call people and say, lend me 10 mil. Oh, that's Tate. I can call people. I know people. I have a place I can go. I'm good at speaking. Like once you have those lessons and once you have that network and once you have those things built, you can't go broke. You really can't. You get to a point of life where the only way you could go broke is to become a drug addict or something ridiculous. But yeah, so the lessons are very, very important. Yeah. I'll make it clear because these last few years, people skipped all of them. Even if they have a little bit of money, they have none of the lessons and they're going to suffer. The universe will teach them a lesson. You can't save yourself to a lifestyle. No. And that's the thing. So I have 36 cars, right? Let's take one of them. Let's take Bugatti. That's 5.2 million. Let's do some easy math. Let's say you make $5,000 a month and you manage to live completely for free. You manage to walk to work for free, eat for free, don't need clothes. Your complete life's free. That's 100 months. 100 divided by 12, that's 70 something years. You need to work and save for 70 years to afford one of my 36 cars in one of my 7 houses. You can't save yourself to the top. No. You can only earn your way to the top. So the idea of saving money, a safety net, knowing that you have peace of mind, taking care of your family or your children, all that I understand. But truthfully, your goal when you wake up shouldn't be like, how do I save more money? That's scared. That's fearful. The universe and God does not reward fearful people or cowardice. There's a degree of cowardice in how do I save more as opposed to the opposite. Well, I'll just go take more. I'll just go make more. I'll just go make more. If it costs me $400,000 to go see Dan Bilzerian, fine. I'll just go make more money. There are people who are dedicated to surfing and they live in a tent in Bali and they surf every day.
I love every minute of it.
And they smile. That's fantastic. You have to decide what you want in life. I want to conquer the world. And if you're going to conquer the world in the modern society we live in, that's going to be a fiscal conquer. That's what you're going to do. You're going to make a bunch of money. How else are you going to conquer the world? That's what I want. You have to decide what you want. And it's different folks for different strokes. And it takes a lot of different kind of people to make the world go round. But if you truly want to conquer the world, you're going to end up wanting a bunch of money because that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So you have to decide the life you want to live. I went shopping in London 2 days ago. And me and Tristan sat and talked about it because the coolest thing about being rich is talking about when you were broke. It's the funnest thing. In fact, I'm glad I wasn't born rich because if I didn't have that, being rich would be boring in many ways. Yeah. It's only funny because you can talk about the olden days.
100%.
So me and Tristan just spent $350,000 on Christmas presents, right?
Lovely.
Yeah. But you get to the point where money has so little value. Like we walked in, Tristan saw a pair of Jimmy Choo heels and he's like, I'll give them to one of his girls or whatever. And he goes, what's her shoe size? I don't know. He goes, what sizes you got? They go, we got 36 to 39. He goes, okay, just give me 11 pairs of the same shoe. Cause money, instead of texting her and finding out her shoe size, just give me everything. They locked the front of the store. There's a huge line because me and Tristan are in there. No one else allowed in. And money for us is a tool to shape the world. And I think that's what a lot of people also don't understand about being rich. You don't want to be rich. You want to be powerful. That's what really is going to satisfy you in your soul. It's the power. It's not I can afford this. That's nice for a while. But really what makes you happy is there's 60 of these Bugattis on earth. Everyone wants one. Who gets one? I do. Because you can't have one. That's the fun of it, right? So it's power you're truly chasing. And if you want to be powerful, you can't be scared to invest money and spend money. A lot of people at home, if they want to make more money, need to invest in themselves. Yeah. They invest in themselves. And maybe they've been taught, well, if I just save. When I was broke, I thought everyone was broke.
You do.
And then you get rich and you start thinking, shit, everyone has money. Every supercar I want is sold out. Every diamond watch I want is sold out. The private jet charters are full. The yachts are full. Like, as soon as you get rich, you start.
Who are all these people that got money?
I was just in Dubai and my houses are being built. They're going to be completed this year. I bought a bunch of them off plan. So I decided to rent and I rented a house on the Palm. It's $25,000 a day, dollars. And I rented it and I'm sitting there and the landlord comes and goes, I just got an offer for $35,000 a day. You need to leave. And I go, okay, well, I'll pay $40,000 a day. And then he came back and goes, the guy's offered $50,000 a day for a year. I'm in a bidding war with you. And I just left. I was like, you know what? Take it. I'll get another one. But like, there's people out there with money like you couldn't fucking fathom. There is so much money in the world. So you do get to a level of wealth. Another time it hit me, I was at Monaco. I was sitting around dinner in Monaco after, it was on a car rally, funnily enough. And there's like 10 of us. And I just looked around the table by coincidence. And I saw everyone's wearing a nice watch. And I thought, when I was broke, the idea, if someone told me they had 30 or 40 grand in the bank, I thought they were doing good. Now I'm sitting at a table, everyone's wearing $100,000 watch. Nobody gives. It's just like, there's levels to the game. And when you get up to the top, you realize there's money everywhere. The abundance mindset, there's so many rich people. So if you're not where you want to be financially, I hope this pisses you off because I'm telling you to annoy you that you're sitting there struggling to pay your bills. There are people out there making so much money you couldn't possibly fathom you have anything they want all of the time. And you may sit there and go, oh, but they're miserable. A lot of them aren't. Trust me. They're having a great time. So you need to make a bunch more money because there's money everywhere. I'll give you an example of why people are too arrogant to learn. Let's forget about selling products. On my website, CobraTake.com, I have an email list. It's completely not free. I am a billionaire. I'm sitting here telling people how to make money. Anyone who's listening to this is watching. They obviously find me entertaining, find you entertaining, they understand we're knowledgeable. I will tell you how to make money and I will give you knowledge and advice via email for free each day. There are people who will sit and watch this knowing that and still not sign up. Explain that to me. You're like, how could you sit and go, this guy's smart. He's entertaining. He knows things. He has a free email list. I am too lazy to type in or arrogant to sign up for free. It takes 6 seconds. And they still won't do it. Of the 1 million people who watch this, half of them will sign up and half of them won't. And the half that don't will still be like, I'll get rich one day. No, you fucking won't.